So, The 100. I watched like 2 or 3 seasons of this show back in the day, and honestly, the first few seasons were decent, and then it kinda died off. Recently, I saw that it finished after 7 seasons, so let's take a look back at the first episode.
It's been 97 years since a nuclear apocalypse killed everyone on Earth, leaving the planet simmering in radiation. Fortunately, there were survivors. 12 nations had operational space stations at the time of the bombs. There is now only the Ark, one station forged from the many.
In a generic post-apocalypse, we all nuked each other and every inch of the Earth is uninhabitable. Like, we can't even live on boats and rigs on the ocean, it's just all ruined. So, we're on a space station all together.
The Ark is dying.
But the station is running out of air. And this guy wants to kill everybody.
We could start now. As Chancellor pro tempore, you can give the order to start reducing the population.
But I'm the only one who's willing to do what it takes to save us. And if I have to take us down to a cosmic Adam and Eve, I will do it.
If we're gonna kill hundreds of innocent people, we're gonna do it by the book.
You all think I'm the bad guy.
Whereas the Chancellor is like, let's send children to test the air and radiation because the future generations of human civilization are expendable. But maybe they'll survive and we can all go down there, breathe, and have more than one kid. So these teenage kids are on death row for petty crimes. So they're full of dark hate inside themselves, making them super relatable to middle schoolers and high schoolers all over. Not too long ago, I was an angsty teen who was like, yes, I did the petty crime of not cleaning my room. Now my mom is yelling at me and I'm gonna die. I wish I could just get sent away to an irradiated planet by myself because my life is a prison and it sucks so bad. These are also the angsty teens that say things like,
What'd they get you for?
Being born.
So they crash land, but...
Do you see that peak over there?
Yeah?
Mount Weather. There's a radiation-soaked forest between us and our next meal. They dropped us on the wrong damn mountain.
They landed on the wrong mountain, because that mountain has a bunch of yummy food, this mountain that they're on just has boring trees. So there's a decent premise actually for a first season. Angsty teens who think they're adults have to actually be semi-responsible and feed themselves. Will they realize their parents aren't all just satanic pawns whose sole purpose is to ruin their lives?
You don't actually think they're gonna forgive your crimes?
Who am I kidding? Adults are evil.
This is us. This is where we need to get to if we want to survive.
Where'd you learn to do that?
So this blonde chick draws a straight line with the ruler and this other guy is absolutely baffled, because he's only ever seen curved lines in his life. To be fair, the show already established how artistic blonde chick is at the beginning, so this just really shows that off some more, because in the future, straight lines are really rare. So this guy with the really bad haircut has beef with this rich kid who's the son of the Chancellor, so they fight. But then discount Sebastian Stan, who took this role after failing to get the role for Spider-Man, successfully makes the bully think he's intimidating by doing one of the Spider-Man flips. Then this girl is like,
Rescue me next.
I didn't know I was watching the Kissing Booth Lost in the Woods edition. Time for today's sponsor. This episode is sponsored by this metal bracelet that may not be fashionable, but if you're a parent who obsessively wants to know if your teenager is okay to the point that you text them, "Are you okay?" every 30 minutes, it's perfect for you and your kid. Never lose track of your teen's vital signs with this super cool metal bracelet. We are not responsible for your teenager's rebelliousness if they break it off and yell at you for being an overbearing parent. So the metal bracelets tell the evil adults if the angsty teens are alive and if they can come down to Earth or not, because conveniently their space walkie-talkie is broken. But they start taking them off, so the evil adults think that the angsty teens are dying, and that's plot. Anyways, these kids who have been on a prison food diet for who knows how long and haven't eaten in probably a day or two have the time and energy to have one of the pointless little swimming in cool random river scene. I'm sure the 17-year-old guys who went on a 45-minute road trip with their friends and the cool dad for spring break relate with this scene, except there were no girls. That's just what they say would happen if the cool dad wasn't there to ruin the whole thing. Anyways, this snake eel kind of thing comes by and says, I'm scary, but not really that scary because these kids who didn't see me coming managed to escape whilst I should theoretically be a predator for native humans around here who would probably have weapons and tactics formed against me at this point. So what a crappy little monster. Also, they find this like 2-headed deer or whatever, and from all I remember in watching the show, they hardly explore these irradiated animals past the first few episodes.
That's a toe. Plus, near as I can tell, whatever it is, It's walking on 2 feet.
Like, none of this really comes into play, whereas that would be a realistic issue they'd have to face, and I would think it's cool.
Call that a sip?
I've heard that at all too many parties. Blonde chick's trying to pace herself, and discount Sebastian Stan over here wants to get her drunk.
Take off your damn clothes. Take off your damn clothes.
Who's next? What the hell are you doing? We're liberating ourselves. What does it look like?
I do have to say, this guy wasn't one of the 100 teens sent down here to play with sticks. He's clearly meant to be a little older than these other 25-year-olds playing teenagers. But this guy is basically an insecure frat guy who still hangs out with high schoolers because they actually think he's cool because he can get them cheap beer underage.
Here, there are no laws. Here, we do whatever the hell we want, whenever the hell we want.
See what I mean? Every high school party is all about we can do what we want. So you just drink as much alcohol as you can until you're throwing up all your internal organs just to show off that.
Whatever the hell we want.
Whatever the hell we want! Whatever the hell we want!
At the end of the episode, Diary of a Wimpy Kid over here gets stabbed in the chest with a spear. And that's a cliffhanger because of course humans made this and threw it, so that's scary of course. But I'm pretty sure this kid survives this, whereas none of these kids are actually qualified to do any skilled labor, especially not surgery or anything medical. Hell, if you have doubts about that, most of them have been in prison for years. They've just been sitting there waiting to die. Which is another thing. The evil adults have no guilty conscience for sentencing children to death over petty crimes because it saves air for future generations. But they have enough of a conscience to imprison them for years and years, wasting air uselessly until they're 18 in the meantime. I mean, I guess it's convenient for the story, but I don't know. If you want a video on the part 2 of this episode, let me know in the comments, and like and subscribe for some more.